He threaded the barrel through the rope, wrapped it around twice, and quickly fashioned a makeshift mount. Then the Jackal took an aim at a pineapple in the distance and fired. The bullet hit its mark, but the trajectory pulled slightly to the left. So he grabbed a screwdriver and made a minor adjustment. He aimed again, this time dead center. Next, he decided to test it with live ammunition. After loading the round and chambering it, he blew the entire pineapple to pieces with ease. The Jackal then set out to use this weapon to assassinate a key figure. He arrived at the target's location 10 hours ahead of schedule. When he passed through security, the guards didn't notice a thing, because he had disguised the sniper rifle as a pair of shoes. They looked completely ordinary on the outside, but inside was a different story. Once disassembled, over a dozen components of various sizes lay hidden within the soles. When pieced together, they formed a powerful plastic sniper rifle, which also explained why it slipped past the security scanners. As for the bullets, the Jackal had concealed them inside a phone case. Before the inspection, he'd placed it in the tray, and after clearing security, he retrieved it without a hitch. Once inside the venue, he blended in as just another audience member, quietly taking in a piano performance. As soon as the show ended, he got up and left, slipping into the backstage area. He picked the lock to a door leading to the upper levels of the building. Once on the roof, he tucked himself into the ductwork below. In that hidden corner, he would remain for a full 10 hours. Through the gaps, he had a clear view of the entire venue. In the cramped space, the Jackal removed his shoes, broke them down, and reassembled them into a sniper rifle. He set the weapon aside and waited in silence for the right moment. Before long, the performance wrapped up completely. The venue lights went dark, and the Jackal was the only soul left in the building. After what felt like an eternity, staff members began making their rounds, a sign that the target would soon appear. Meanwhile, security at the venue entrance tightened noticeably. Access controls were upgraded, and a heavy contingent of guards stood ready. An officer handed the security chief a sketch, a rendering of the Jackal's face based on eyewitness descriptions. Clearly, this was a manhunt designed specifically for him. The moment the Jackal showed his face, he'd be caught. What they hadn't counted on was that the Jackal had already slipped inside long before. Now came the gauntlet of security sweeps. First, the security team combed through every corner of the venue. Then Officer Marie systematically checked every possible hiding spot where an assassin might be lurking. When the officer climbed up to the roof, he was just 10 feet away from the Jackal. The moment the door clicked shut, the Jackal finally let out a breath of relief. But after hours crammed into that tight space, his body had grown stiff, so he stretched to keep limber. When thirst hit, he sipped some coffee. When nature called, he made do with a plastic bottle. As the audience filtered in, the press conference was about to begin. The Jackal crawled out of the ductwork and set his plan in motion, but he quickly spotted guards stationed throughout the venue. He moved in slowly, took out the first guard clean and quiet, then eliminated a second who was hiding behind a spotlight. This was the ideal shooting position. Any guard looking up from below would be blinded by the lights and unable to see clearly, but the Jackal had a perfect view of everything beneath him. The target, however, was extremely cautious. A thick pane of bulletproof glass stood in front of him. If the Jackal fired now, the mission would fail. So he waited in the shadows for the perfect shot. The moment the target stepped beyond the glass, he was a dead man. But just then, at the